You know how a single moment can rip your world apart? 1 second, everything's normal, birds chirping, phones buzzing, life just humming along, and then, bang, it's gone. That's what happened to Marcus Tate, a 15-year-old kid from Savannah, Georgia, standing on the steps of the county courthouse, holding nothing but a stranger's dropped wallet, when a cop named Derek Holt decided he was a threat and pulled the trigger. It was a Tuesday morning, warm, the kind of sticky southern heat that makes your shirt cling to your back. Marcus, he was just a lanky kid, all elbows and knees, the kind who'd rather read sci-fi than cause trouble. He was waiting for his mom, Angela Tate, a civil rights lawyer who'd spent years fighting cases in that very courthouse. Marcus had been there 100 times, sitting on those marble steps, earbuds in, scrolling through his phone. That day, he saw an old lady, Miss Evelyn, a retired schoolteacher with a bad hip, fumble her wallet. Two punks snatched it and bolted, laughing like it was a game. Marcus didn't think twice. He jogged after them, grabbed the wallet back, and was handing it to Miss Evelyn when Holt's cruiser screeched up. "Drop it." "Hands up," Holt barked, gun already drawn, eyes wild. Marcus froze, wallet still in his hand, saying, "It's hers, but the shot cut him off, sharp and final, like the period at the end of a sentence nobody wanted to read. He crumpled, blood pooling on the steps, Miss Evelyn screaming, "He was helping me, you idiot. He was helping me." Angela was in a meeting 2 blocks away when her phone buzzed, first a text, then a call, then 10 calls. By the time she ran to the courthouse, shoving through the crowd, her son was on a stretcher, eyes half open, lips moving like he was trying to say something but couldn't find the air. Angela, this fierce woman who'd stared down judges and won cases against impossible odds, dropped to her knees, her hands shaking as she touched Marcus's face. "Stay with me. Baby, you're okay, she whispered, but her voice cracked, and you could tell she was trying to convince herself as much as him. Holt stood there, gun still in his hand, muttering. He moved. He had something shiny. Angela looked up, her eyes cutting through him like a blade. "Shiny? That's a wallet, you coward. My son's blood is on your hands." The crowd was growing now, phones out, recording every word, every tear. Miss Evelyn was sobbing, repeating, "He saved my wallet. He saved me," like a prayer nobody was listening to. Now, Angela wasn't just a mom, she was a lawyer who'd been digging into Savannah's dirty secrets for years. See, Savannah's got this postcard perfect vibe, cobblestone streets, mossy oaks, tourists snapping photos. But underneath, it's got a history that doesn't wash out. Angela had been quietly investigating the police department, pulling files, talking to witnesses, building a case about cops like Holt who got away with too much, protected by a system that looked the other way. She'd found complaints against Holt 3 in 2 years, all involving black kids, all dismissed. One girl, 14, said he'd slammed her against a wall for looking suspicious at a bus stop. The report? Buried. Angela had a name for it. The Blue Veil, a quiet pact among certain cops to cover for each other, no matter the cost. She'd whispered about it to her old friend, Victor Chun, a retired DOJ investigator who'd seen the same game play out in cities across the South. "It's not one bad cop," Victor told her over coffee one night, his voice low. "It's a machine that keeps them untouchable." When Marcus got shot, it wasn't just a tragedy, it was the spark that lit the fuse. Angela didn't cry in public, she got to work. She and Victor pored over Holt's files, finding gaps, sealed reports, a 2018 case where he'd tossed a kid for running funny. All swept under the rug. Meanwhile, the news tried to spin it. Teen suspect shot in self-defense. They said, like Marcus was some thug. But then a kid in the crowd, 12-year-old Jamal, posted his phone video online. 17 seconds of truth. Marcus handing Miss Evelyn her wallet. Holt firing before he even finished shouting, "Drop it." The internet exploded. Justice for Marcus trended. People shared it from Atlanta to Oakland. Savannah woke up, and it wasn't pretty. Protests filled the streets, not just angry kids but teachers, barbers, even old folks who'd lived through Jim Crow, saying, "I thought we were past this." Holt's story started unraveling fast. At the internal hearing, he sat there in his crisp uniform, hands sweaty, trying to stick to the script. "I followed protocol," he said, voice shaky. He moved suddenly. "I felt threatened." Angela stood up, her voice like ice. Threatened? By a kid helping an old lady? You didn't see a threat. Derek, you saw his skin. The room went dead quiet. Victor stepped in, holding up a file. This is your record, Holt. Or what's left of it after your buddies scrubbed it clean. Care to explain the missing complaints? Holt stammered, "Two don't know about that." But the truth was slipping out, and everyone could feel it. Another cop, Officer Torres, broke ranks. He took the mic, said, "We called it the Blue Veil. Protect our own, no matter what. I'm done with it." You could hear the gasps from the back row. The trial was a circus, cameras everywhere, live streams crashing from too many viewers. Angela didn't just lawyer up. She turned the courtroom into a mirror, forcing Savannah to look at itself. The prosecution played Jamal's video, frame by frame. Miss Evelyn testified, voice trembling but clear. "That boy was my hero, and you shot him for it." The jury didn't take long. Guilty, second-degree assault. The judge, a black woman named Clara Jones, didn't hold back. "No badge excuses this," she said, "and no system should protect it." Holt was let out in cuffs, head down, no one shielding him now. Marcus survived, but the bullet took his voice. He communicates with sign language now, his hands saying what his throat can't. At a town hall 6 months later, he stood on stage, raised one hand, and signed, "Enough." The crowd didn't cheer, they stood, silent, like they finally got it. Angela quit her law firm, started teaching at a local college, showing kids how to fight for justice, not just argue it. She wrote a book, 17 Seconds, about those moments that changed everything. Savannah's still grappling with itself. The Marcus Act, a bill for independent police oversight, is stuck in Congress, but it's got people talking, arguing, waking up. Here's the thing, though, this isn't just Marcus's story, or Angela's, or even Savannah's. It's about what we let slide, what we ignore, what we assume. If a kid can get shot for doing the right thing, if a mom has to fight a whole city to prove her son's worth, what does that say about us? I don't have the answer, but I know it starts with really seeing each other. So what do you think? Was justice served? Or is it still out there, waiting for us to demand it? Drop your thoughts below, share this story, let's keep it loud. Because Marcus didn't just survive, he showed us the truth, and it's on us to do something with it.